The US president is among more than 120 world leaders to arrive in Scotland. Joe Biden touched down in Edinburgh this morning. Presidents don't travel light. His motorcade stretched along the M8 and then through the streets of Glasgow as he made his way to the venue. There he was greeted by the Prime Minister. As the opening ceremony began, Boris Johnson warned failure to take action would lead to a climate catastrophe.
Humanity has long since run down the clock on climate change. It's 1 minute to midnight on that doomsday clock, and we need to act now. If we don't get serious about climate change today, it will be too late for our children to do so tomorrow.
Prince Charles stumbled on his way to the stage, but his words were unwavering.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us just how devastating a global cross-border threat can be. Climate change and biodiversity loss are no different. In fact, they pose an even greater existential threat, to the extent that we have to put ourselves on what might be called a warlike footing.
Leaders are under pressure to deliver on promises made 6 years ago in Paris to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees.
In my lifetime, I've witnessed a terrible decline. In yours, you could and should witness a wonderful recovery. That desperate hope, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, excellency, is why the world is looking to you and why you are here.
They're also facing calls to deliver on pledges of $100 billion for poorer countries.
Glasgow must be the kickoff of a decade of ambition and innovation to preserve our shared future. So let this be the moment that we answer history's call here in Glasgow. Let this be the start of a decade of transformative action that preserves our planet and raises the quality of life for people everywhere.
Our people are watching, and our people are taking note. And are we really going to leave Scotland without the resolve and the ambition that is sorely needed to save lives and to save our planet?
However, India announced it will only achieve carbon neutrality 20 years later than campaigners hoped.
By 2070, India will achieve the target of net zero emissions.
So it's your first time in Glasgow?
The First Minister met with the climate activist Greta Thunberg, who challenged the Scottish Government to do more. Outside, delegates had faced long queues to gain access to the site this morning. This is the biggest security operation Scotland has ever seen, with police stationed high and low around the venue. Protests so far have been peaceful. 2 youngsters abseiled off the side of a bridge nearby. Meanwhile, police closed the Erskine Bridge as a precaution to allow the Greenpeace yacht the Rainbow Warrior to make its way up the Clyde towards the conference site. Despite the closure of several roads, there were few issues for commuters after a rail strike was averted last week.
I thought it was going to be a struggle to get on, but plenty of seats.
Same as normal, train was slightly busier, but still was able to get a seat on my own.
Slightly nervous about if the trains were going to be busy or whatever, but it's been fine.
However, metres from the venue, rubbish is building up as binmen start a week-long walkout. 2 weeks of intense talks are now underway that will have a long-term impact on the future of the planet. The outcome hangs in the balance. Ewan Petrie, STV News.